learn as much as we can today. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga Madhav, where we start? How much time do we have? 7:15. 7:16.
So you can go on.
As long as you want. Prashadam is done.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी
यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरवनचारि
Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottar Sata Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottar Sata Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगमयी की जमुनमयी की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी देवी की कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Give it to Prabhu.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patithanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Jai Shri Ram. I'm very happy, and blissful and grateful to be amongst all of you today. Although we are meeting for the first time, still I feel a deep sense of connection with many devotees here, many children here. It's all because of Krishna Katha, because of Srimad Bhagavatam. I said something similar in Silicon Valley also. I also have been interacting with those devotees through Harikatha in the center for the last few years. Now when I'm meeting them directly, face to face for the first time, already connection is established. So here also, when Sumitra Mataji is welcoming and sharing few things, when Padmakar Prabhu met me on the way and then brought me here, so there is a deep sense of connection, friendship, relationship, all because we kept Krishna in the center of our interactions. We never interacted with each other with any other agenda, right? We kept Krishna in the center. We kept Bhagavatam in the center. We kept service in the center. So Vaishnava relationships are those relationships that are predominantly based on service to Krishna, glorification of Krishna, and not any other selfish motives. So relationships that are based on personal agendas, selfish motives, and other ulterior plans, they will not survive for a long time. But relationships that are based on selfless service to Vaishnavas and in the service of Krishna ultimately, they are everlasting, they are nourishing, they bring us closer to each other and they bring us closer to Krishna. When we keep Krishna in the center, we come closer to each other and we come closer to Krishna. Together we march towards Krishna. So, thank you very much for your loving association, welcoming, reception, and love and affection. And thank you very much for everything that you have been doing here. And especially the place where we are having Harikatha here is very nice, very unique. There are some stages, a balcony, then a sofa, then there is a ground level. There's a nice sitting place. There is this beautiful book that is kept open, which is so huge. And there are little kids sitting here, or little Kirti, Daivikram, Shivam, and few names I don't know. And there's a balance between elders and younger ones also. I see almost equal proportion. So it's very nice, very sweet. All these golden things hanging, reminding us of Krishna. Okay, Radharani's color is golden, right? All this Damodar, Yashoda Damodar, little baby Krishna eating butter. Yashoda Mai. It's filled with Krishna conscious vibrations. What can be a better setup than this to discuss Harikatha? Okay, and even the wooden walls are also are facilitating our acoustics. Sound is also very nice. Sound system is also good. That's another important criteria for discussing for a long time. So thank you very much for all the arrangements. Very grateful to you to be amongst all of you. So I was asked by Mataji to speak on how Krishna is our Supreme Father, right? Prabhu just now told in the car. So let me discuss whatever I know, whatever comes to my mind from Gita Bhagavatam. So Krishna declared himself as the Supreme Father of all living beings. It can come little up if possible. He said, Aham bija pradah pitaha. I am the seed-giving father of all existences. Because children are also here, I'll speak some stories, okay? I'll not bore you with philosophy, kids, okay? Don't worry. I'll speak little shlokas here and there, but we'll have stories also. So Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Mama amsho jiva loke jiva bhutah sanatanaha. Mama eva amsho. All the living beings are my fragmental parts. Mama eva amsho. We are all amshas of Krishna. Jiva bhutah sanatanaha. They are all eternal. Krishna is eternal. We are also eternal. Krishna is the supreme eternal being, and we are also eternal beings, but we are minute in our capacity, right? So we are all little kids of Krishna, Krishna's children. So in a family, there are few people, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever it may be. Brother, sister, mother, father, wife, husband, son, daughter, grandson, grandmother, all this. They are all connected to each other
with body in the center, isn't it? So body is the basis of connection between relatives. So they are coming to the same dynasty, coming from the same dynasty or family. So that bodily connection keeps them together generally. But we can have relationship with those family members on a much higher plane also, not just body. Okay. So a child takes birth from the parents. So there is a relationship through the body. So there's a relationship which is formed, but we can convert that material relationship into spiritual relationship by bringing Krishna in the center. Because we are all children of Krishna, all of us have a natural spiritual relationship with each other. Although we may be meeting for the first time in life, face to face, still we are all connected to each other eternally. Okay. So when we are practicing spiritual life, that practice of spiritual life will enable us to see everyone as my family member. Why should I restrict my emotions and relationships and friendships and affection and love to only few members of my family who are connected to me through this family, lineage, body? So a spiritualist is not averse to relationships. To advance in spiritual life, to develop Krishna consciousness, we don't have to give up our relationship. We should expand the scope of our relationships to everyone. Okay. So my love, my affection, my relationships should not be restricted only to few people in my family. It should be expanded to every single living being, practically speaking. Because Krishna is the Supreme Father of all living beings. So thus we all have a natural connection. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all the children of the same Father. Right? We have a spiritual relationship. On a spiritual plane, we are all children of God. Okay? He's our Supreme Father. He declares, Aham bija pradah pitaha. I am the seed-giving Father. Mamaivamsho jivaloki. All of you are my amshas. Whether we are Indians or Americans or men or women or doctors or patients or engineers or businessmen, we are all children of Krishna. We are all children of the Supreme Father Krishna. He is the Aham bija pradah pitaha. So recognizing our eternal connection with the Lord will help us to recognize our eternal relationship with other people also. We are connected to others also. We are all children of the same Father, right? So we all naturally have a connection, relationship. So that is spiritual, not material. So let us discuss few stories where we see Krishna's fatherly affection, Krishna's loving mercy upon his devotees. There is a shloka in the Mukundamala Stotra that says that Krishna is the only protector of all living beings. Just like Father protects children, similarly the Supreme Father Krishna protects everyone. Okay. Krishno rakshatu no jagatraya guro krishnam namadhvam sada krishne nakhila shatravo vinihita krishnaya tasmai namah. Krishnadeva samuthitam jagadidam krishnasya dasosmyaham krishne tisthati vishvametadakhilam he Krishna rakshasva mam. Krishno rakshatu no jagatraya guru. Krishna is the Jagatraya Guru. He is the master or the spiritual master of all the three worlds. He is the Guru, teacher of all three worlds. Krishno Rakshatano, he is the only protector. Krishno Rakshatano Jagatraya Guru. Krishnam Namadham Sada. Let us always offer obeisances to Krishna. That's what Krishna also said in the Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhya jimam namaskuru. So you become my devotee and you offer obeisances to me. Mam namaskuru. Krishnam namadhvam sada Krishne nakhila shatravo vinihita Krishnaya tasmai namah. It is Krishna who kills all our enemies, who destroys all our enemies. The role of a father is to protect the child from any attacks. In this world, so many people attack us. Okay, so many things attack us. So Krishna will protect us from them. How? I'll see. Physical protection. But the real protection that we all need is not from outside. It is from inside. Our enemies are not outside. Yeah, there may be some people who may treat us as enemies, who may deal with us as enemies. We may say, he's my enemy, she's my enemy. We may say that. It may happen sometimes. But the real enemy of an average living being is the internal kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Our own envy is our enemy. Our own pride is our enemy. Our own anger is our enemy. Our own greed is our enemy. So these are our enemies, real enemies. Krishne na khila shatravo vinihitaha. Krishna will kill all these enemies. Right? If we worship Krishna, Krishna will kill our anarthas. So if we allow Krishna to... Oh my God, it just came out. I broke it. Krishne na khila shatravo vinihitaha Krishnaya tasmai namah. Therefore, let us offer obeisances to Krishna only. Krishna deva samuthitam jagadidam Krishnasya dasosmyaham. It is from Krishna that the entire universe has manifested. Krishna deva samuthitam jagadidam. This entire jagat manifested from Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the Supreme Father. He's the creator. He's the maintainer. He's the destroyer. He's the Supreme Father of everything. Right? Like Mother Nature is providing bodies to all living beings, and the soul is coming from Krishna, right? So entire universe came out of Krishna. When Mahavishnu, an expansion of Krishna, breathed out, millions of universes came out of his body. Thus Krishna is the Supreme Father of the universe. Krishne, tarvata, after that, Krishne tishtati vishvameta dakhilam he Krishna rakshasvamam. After the creation, the Lord maintains the world for a while, and at some point it's destroyed. The world is destroyed. After destruction, this entire universe goes back into Krishna's body. Right? So Krishna is the protector of the universe, Krishna is the creator of the universe, and Krishna does conservation of the universe also. And later he gives birth to this again. So Krishna is the protector, Krishna is the master, Krishna is the controller, Krishna is the proprietor. He said in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhurdam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shanti mrichati. He is the Bhokta, he is the enjoyer of everything. Sarva loka maheshwaram. He is the proprietor of all planets in this world. He is the creator also. Then suhurdam sarva bhutanam, he is suhrid. What else do you expect from a father? He should be loving, he should be friendly, he should be caring, right? Here she says, I'm dad's girl. Daddy's girl. Right, you can see, right, this little kid. So, father, we are all father's children. So, naturally, there is, father has to protect, right? So, Krishna gives that fatherly care to all his children. Suhurdam sarva bhutanam. He did not say suhurdam for only these people. Suhurdam sarva kshetriyanam. Suhurdam sarva brahmananam, suhurdam sarva manushyanam. He did not say that. Suhurdam sarva bhutanam. Bhuta is not ghost, by the way. Bhuta is living being. So he is the father of all living beings. He is the well-wisher of all living beings. Supreme well-wisher. Father is the supreme well-wisher, right? His father has to be supreme well-wisher. So Krishna several times declared that he is the supreme protector and supreme father and supreme maintainer and supreme well-wisher of all living beings. There is one shloka that Dwarkavasis say when Krishna entered Dwarka in the first canto of Bhagavatam. Out of their spontaneous loving dependence on Krishna, the Dwarkavasis are saying, Bhavaya nastvam bhava vishva bhavana tvameva matata suhrutpati pitam tvam sadgururnaha paramam cha daivatam yasyana vritya krutino babhuvima. They are saying that bhavaya nastvam bhava vishva bhavana. Oh Lord, you are the creator of the universe. Vishva bhavana. The universe was created because of you. And Tvameva matata, you are our mother. Tvameva matata suhrut patihi pita. Suhrut means you are our friend. Pati, you are our husband. You are our Lord. You are our master. Pita, you are our father. Tvameva matata suhrut patihi pita. Tvam sadgururnaha paramam cha daivatam. You are our Sadguru. You are our dear teacher. Paramam cha daivatam. You are the supreme worshipable deity for all of us. Yasya anuvritya kritino ababhuvima. Yasya anuvritya, only by following you. Kritino ababhuvima, we attain any success. Right? Father is the well-wisher. By following the well-intended advices of Father, guidance of Father, we attain success. Right? So Krishna is our supreme Father. Now let's discuss one little story. You know the story of Gajendra? So once there lived a great king named Indradyumna Maharaj. This Indradyumna Maharaj ruled his kingdom with great responsibility and retired with detachment after a while. This is the nature of Rajarshis. They don't hold on to their posts till the fag end of their lives. As soon as there is an able successor, they delegate, they empower the successor with the necessary resources and manpower and everything. They just delegate everything to him and they retire, they perform devotional service for the rest of their lives. So Indradyumna Maharaj retired from his kingdom and he made a small hermitage and he started worshipping the Lord. One day, a great sage named Agastya came there. And this Agastya came with his disciples, and Indradyumna Maharaj was so absorbed in his worship, he did not bother to welcome Agastya Rishi. That was a mistake. So Agastya Rishi became so offended. This person is supposed to be a Vaishnava, and he's supposed to receive a Brahmana guest, a sage guest at his home, at his hermitage, and he also has the background of a great king. But he is behaving like a dull-headed elephant. Let him become an elephant. I curse him to become an elephant. So Indradyumna Maharaj became an elephant. Okay. And that Indradyumna Maharaj became Gajendra in his next life. And he took birth as an elephant, the king of elephants, in the Trikuta mountain region. Trikuta, it has 3 peaks, prominent peaks, golden peak, silver peak, iron peak, like that. So he became an elephant in the Trikuta mountain region. In that mountain region, there is a garden called Rutumat garden. So Gajendra was wandering with his friends and wives and children everywhere in the Rutumat garden. And in the Rutumat garden area, there is a nice lake. And Gajendra became a little fatigued by wandering in that place and he came to that garden to take bath. Okay. So he took bath. And he also started sprinkling water on his family members and friends. So like that he was happily enjoying in the waters. Suddenly, a crocodile came and caught the feet of Gajendra. This is life. So we think that we are very comfortable. Gajendra had everything in life. He had power, he had prestige, he had influence. And all the lower animals surrendered to Gajendra. They survive with life only because Gajendra did not kill them. So Gajendra had power. Gajendra had so many associates, so many friends and wives and children were there. So he was living a very happy and comfortable life. But suddenly there was a calamity. At the least expected moment, we can encounter so many calamities in life. Okay. Although we are comfortable now, we may not expect to stay comfortably forever in life. So, at the least expected moment, some calamity may come and overwhelm us. So, suddenly this Gajendra came, and suddenly this crocodile came and attacked the feet of Gajendra. And Gajendra thought that, okay, this crocodile will leave me after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. He was expecting, he was struggling, he was trying to release himself from the jaws of this crocodile, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. So Gajendra was trying to pull the crocodile out of the water and crocodile was pulling Gajendra inside the water. And Gajendra had so many friends and family members, they all tried to protect Gajendra, help Gajendra, but nothing happened. And Gajendra was thinking that how long this crocodile will catch me, it may leave me after a while. 1 day passed, 2 days passed, 10 days passed, 1 month passed, 1 year passed, 100 years passed, 1,000 years passed. The crocodile was not living. Don't think that it is some kind of mythological stories. In the celestial world, one can live for 1,000 years also. It's not on the earth planet. And it is not Kali Yuga. Right? So, the scriptures are more relatable and understandable when we have basic faith in it. Okay? If we keep on doubting everything, then we'll miss the lesson. So Gajendra fought with the crocodile for 1,000 years. All his friends were trying to protect Gajendra. They were doing their best to protect Gajendra, but nothing happened. If that crocodile had caught Gajendra's leg on the land, probably Gajendra would have trampled the crocodile, or the other elephant friends of Gajendra would have trampled the crocodile. But because crocodile caught Gajendra inside the water and Gajendra was not a water animal, Gajendra became helpless. Important lesson here is, we may be powerful at some place. That does not mean we become powerful at every place. Right? You may have influence, you may have power, you may have prestige, respect at one place, but you may not have that at every place. So one should not become so puffed up of one's power. Krishna will ensure that your so-called power is borrowed from me, and when I withdraw that power, you will become powerless and useless. So Krishna will ensure that we understand this, we realize this, if you are puffed up. So there's no point becoming proud of one's own borrowed powers. For example, if a crow takes some peacock feathers and puts in the tail and says, oh, look, I'm looking so beautiful. See how beautiful am I looking? So everybody will laugh. No, you're already laughing. Peacock, the crow did not do it yet. You're already laughing just by hearing about it. Similarly, whatever powers and talents and skills that we have are just coming to us only by Krishna's grace. We should humbly, gently, diligently, intelligently utilize all these powers and talents and resources, money, manpower, etc. in Krishna's service, not in any other way. If we are using it for our own sense enjoyment, then it's a matter of time before we lose all of that. But if we use all of them in Krishna's seva, that's the best way of living life, that's the best way of utilizing whatever we have in Krishna's seva, purposefully, meaningfully. So now Gajendra was very powerful elephant, but Gajendra's power is useless in water, and crocodile is pulling inside. And all the elephants that are on the shore of the lake, they were crying for Gajendra, but they are unable to help Gajendra. And all the devatas in the celestial planets are observing Gajendra, because 1,000 years fight. It's like a cricket match happening, and people are watching from stadium, gallery, right? So here in Trikota mountain region, this Gajendra is struggling with this crocodile, and all the upper planets, devatas in the upper planets, are watching the show from there. Oh, some fight is happening. It's the talk of the town, talk of the planets, upper planets. So devatas were there, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Brahma, Shiva, all of them were watching Gajendra from top. They did not come to help Gajendra. The elephant friends of Gajendra had the intention to help Gajendra, but they did not have the ability to help Gajendra. All the devatas had the ability to help Gajendra, but they did not have the intention to help Gajendra. You see, in this world we may encounter people who may have the capacity to help us, but they don't have the compassion to help us. Or some people may have compassion to help us, they may not have the capacity to help us. Supreme Father Krishna is one who has both compassion and capacity, intention and ability. Do you agree? Yes. So now Gajendra started introspecting that nobody is able to help me. All these elephants are just crying. They don't have the ability to help me. Of course, they are concerned, definitely, but they don't have the ability. So Gajendra thought there must be somebody who has the power to help me. Let me invoke his presence. Let me offer prayer to him. So to whomsoever it may concern, I offer this prayer. Let him come and help me. So Gajendra did not specifically call Krishna, Rama, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Matsya, Kurma, please come and protect me. Gajendra did not say, did not address the prayer to somebody, some name of the Lord, some form of the Lord. Gajendra is saying, oh Lord, whoever you may be, you must be existing somewhere. The world doesn't exist without a creator. Okay? And it's not that nobody has the power to protect me. There must be somebody, hypothetically, at least theoretically, there must be somebody who must be having some power to protect me. Whoever that person may be, let him come and protect me. That's a prayer, basically. It's addressed. It's a very nice letter written without two address. Right? And Gajendra is putting in the post box. Interestingly, that letter reaches the Supreme Father only. No one else. So address is not written there, but it is reaching the right person. Okay. So because that person is the right recipient of that letter, and he has concern for us. He has compassion. He has capacity. And more than this too, he has awareness. Let me just mention the prayer that Gajendra offered. Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya swamshena sarvatanubhran manasi pratita pratyagdrishe bhagavate brihate namaste. Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaaya. My dear Lord, whoever you may be, I don't know your name, I don't know your form, I don't know whether in blue color or green color, red color, I don't know. Whether you wear peacock feather or hold flute or hold dhanush or hold parashu or hold gada, I don't know all that. But you must be merciful. You must be compassionate. You must be having the power to save me. Madrik prapanna pashu pasha vimokshanaya. Prapanna means one who surrendered. If I surrender to you, pasha vimokshanaya. Pasha means bondage, rope. To bind someone with a rope is bondage, and pasha vimokshanaya means to release that person from that bondage. Madrik prapanna pashu pasha vimokshanaya. Oh Lord, you must be having the ability to release me from this bondage if I surrender to you. Whoever surrenders unto you, you will protect them. You will release them from bondage. So why will you release? How will you release? Because you are never bound by anything. Bondage is for us, not for you. You are always muktaya. Mukta means ever liberated. Because you are always liberated, you are never bound, you can release me from a bondage. If I am tied to a pillar with ropes, somebody did some Damodar Leela, right? You tied me to a pillar to ropes, who can release me? Not another person who is also tied to another pillar with ropes. Only the person who is not tied, not bound, can release me from bondage. Do you agree? Therefore, you need to be muktaya to give me mukti. To cause vimokshanaya, you have to be muktaya. So you have to protect me. You should have the ability to protect me. So that muktaya refers to the capacity or ability of Krishna to protect. The next word is bhuri karunaya. I am bound to this pillar and you are not bound. Therefore, you naturally have the ability to protect me. But you will not protect me unless you intend to protect me. Unless you have compassion to protect me. Bhuri karunaya. Bhuri karunaya means extreme degree of mercy. Karuna means mercy. Bhuri karunaya means extreme mercy. Krishna, you are not only having the capacity to protect me, you also have the compassion to protect me. Unless you are kind and compassionate or intend to save me, intend to release me from this bondage, you will not. So you have the capacity, you should also have the compassion, right? Muktaya bhuri karunaya. Okay, you have the capacity to release me, you have the compassion to release me, but you are not aware only, you are looking in that direction. And there is a sticker on my mouth, I cannot speak. I am unable to invoke presence. So how can I call you out? Even without me calling out, you should understand what am I going through. Even without me reporting to you, you should understand what am I going through. even without me writing to address on the letter, that should reach you. Provided that happens only when you are aware of my situation. So Gajendra says that you are alalaya. Alalaya means you are completely aware of everything that is happening with everybody. Fine. So how is he aware of everything? Because Swamshena sarvatanu brahmanasi pratita pratyagdrishe bhagavate brihate namaste. Swamshena, by his own expansion, the Supreme Lord stays within everybody's hearts as Paramatma. Swamshena, his own expansion. Paramatma is the expansion of the Lord. Sarvatanu brahman, inside the hearts of every living being. Manasi pratita, the Lord stays in the heart. So because the Lord stays in the hearts of all living beings, he completely understands their moods and deeds and needs. Okay. Don't think that I have some mindset, nobody is able to figure it out. Others may not be able to figure it out, but Krishna understands our moods. You need something, don't think that nobody is understanding me. Krishna understands you. He's the Supreme Father. Right? So you may do some sinful activity, nobody saw me, no problem. Krishna understands our deeds also, good or bad. So he understands our moods and needs and deeds completely. He is our Supreme Father. He is a capable father. A normal father may understand the needs of the child, moods of the child and deeds of the child to some degree. But the Supreme Father Krishna will understand everything. Krishna is not just father, Krishna is mother also. When Dhruva Maharaj was insulted by Suruchi, he went crying to Mother Suniti. You know what Mother Suniti said? My dear child, I am one mother, I can give you the affection of only one mother. But Krishna can give you the combined affection of millions of mothers put together. Can you just imagine? The amount of affection that a mother can have for a child is unlimited, practically speaking. Children may have some experience. But multiply that unlimited affection with unlimited. That is Krishna's affection. So Krishna is the Supreme Mother and Supreme Father also. So, because he is powerful Father. He is not just a father who has emotions for the child. He is a father who also has the ability to address the needs of the child. Sometimes the father may have great intention to help the child in some way, but the father, it may be a little beyond the capacity of the father to do the needful there. But it happens. The father wants to purchase some very nice, expensive dress for the child, but somehow he has some financial problems. He purchases some simple dress to the child. But there is love. The child accepts that affection of the father. But he may not have the capacity to do something more than that. But Krishna has unlimited affection also and unlimited capacity also. Not just emotion. He also has action. He also can perform an action, which is unimaginable, to protect. Just to protect one child, Prahlad, the Lord manifested a unique form, unprecedented form, Narasimhadev form. He had Vatsalya affection towards him. One of the qualities of the Lord is Bhakta Vatsalyata. Where is this Vatsalyata coming from, this word? Vatsa means calf. It is said that mother cow loves the calf so much. And motherly affection is often compared with cow's affection for her calf. And Krishna's affection for his devotees is described as Bhakta Vatsalyata. Just like a cow has affection for the calf, Krishna has affection for all his devotees, Bhakta Vatsalyata. And in fact, a higher quality than Krishna's Bhakta Vatsalyata is Bhakta Vashyata. Vatsalyata means Krishna is here and you are here, he is showing affection to you. Bhakta Vashyata means Krishna is here and you are here. Krishna is under your control. That is that child, that picture, Damodar, Yashoda Damodar picture. Bhakta Vashyata means Krishna comes under the control of the love of his devotees. Krishna is bound by the love of his devotees. He can release everyone from bondage. He is fully capable of doing it. But he himself is bound by the affection of his mother, Okay, affection of his father. Where else can we find such a God? Can we find any master, any protector, any Lord who is more capable than Krishna and who is more merciful than Krishna and who is more sweeter than Krishna? Impossible. While he maintains the ability to protect every single living being like a loving father or mother, he also has the simplicity and heart to be controlled by those people whom he is protecting, and he keeps himself under their protection. In Vrindavan, when there is thunder in the sky, Krishna becomes fearful, little child. He becomes fearful and he just runs towards Mother Yashoda and hides between her legs. Mother, I am very afraid. And Yashoda Mata protects Krishna, my dear Krishna, I am there, don't worry. You see, he is the Supreme Father of all living beings, Supreme Mother of all living beings, but he also has the mood to relish motherly affection and fatherly affection from Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. So he understands when you are a child receiving love and affection from your parents, you can take care of your children nicely also. Isn't it? It makes sense. He is not only a giver of affection, he is a recipient of affection also. He is a relisher of motherly affection also. He is a relisher of fatherly affection also. That's why he is called Akhila Rasamrta Murti. He is enjoyer of all rasas. He can show fatherly affection towards all living beings. He can experience fatherly affection from Nanda Maharaj. So when Nanda Maharaj comes to his home, Krishna will jump into Nanda Maharaj's lap and hugs him. And Nanda Maharaj hugs Krishna and kisses Krishna and ensures, takes care that his beard and his mustache wouldn't hurt the tender cheeks of Krishna. Right? So that is the care that Nanda Maharaj had towards Krishna. And Krishna relishes that affection. So this is Krishna. Who else can be more merciful and more sweeter than Krishna? This is Krishna's sweetness. Then we see that in Gajendra's case, back to Gajendra episode, Gajendra prayed like this. Muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya. Krishna, you have the compassion and you have the capacity and you have the cognizance. You are aware of my situation. Because you are aware, I need not put to address. Okay? You know who is suffering. Because you are fully cognizant, you have full awareness, you have intention, you have ability, you have awareness. You have compassion, you have capacity, and you have cognizance. You are Muktaya, you are Bhuri Karunaya, and you are Alalaya. Therefore, I don't have to put to address. So even if this child, Gajendra, is struggling and invoking the compassion of the Lord without even taking his name, not knowing his form or name, the Lord came to protect. You know what the Devatas felt when Gajendra was offering prayer like this? All the Devatas were saying that this animal is praying. By describing the qualities of a Supreme Person, these qualities are not there within us. All these qualities are there in Lord Hari. And Hari will not come so easily. Right? And this animal is not calling us. And on top of it, this animal, Gajendra, minimized our position. So in the description that Gajendra is giving about the Supreme Father, he also said that, O Supreme Lord, O Supreme Father, who is the master of all minor gods? All the smaller devatas. So all the devatas were thinking that he minimized our position. He insulted us. Let us not go and protect Gajendra. And Lord Vishnu will anyways not come. It's not so easy for him. He's having his own pastimes with Lakshmi Devi. He's busy in Vaikuntha. He will anyways not come. So animal will die. The Devatas were confident that animal will die. Gajendra will die. As they were speculating like that, thinking like that, they saw, in great haste, Lord Krishna is coming on the back of Garuda, descending from Vaikuntha to the Trikota mountain region. All of them became stunned, shocked. My God, we never thought he will come. But he's coming. We committed a great offense. To think that Krishna will not come and protect us when we are in calamity is a great offense. And this offense is done by all the devatas. To nullify their offense, they started offering prayers. Okay? And while offering prayers, they are also descending. Gajendra offered one animal, one elephant offered a prayer, and the Supreme Lord Vishnu came from Vaikuntha, not alone, along with all the devatas while they are offering prayers. See, one prayer of one little child who is struggling invoked so many celestial celebrities to offer prayers and also descend along with the Supreme Lord. The Lord wants to prove that I am the Supreme Father. Okay. So all the devatas also were praying, sorry, my dear Lord, we thought you'll never come, but you are coming. You are so great, you are this, you are that. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Sanvanti Divyaihi Stavaihi. All the great devatas like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Shivam is very excited. He's enjoying, relishing Krishna's fatherly mercy. Great. So he's descending. The Lord never lets us down. Bhakta Paya Bhujanga Garudamani Trailokya Rakshamani Gopi Lochana Chatakam Budamani Saundarya Mudramani Yah Kantamani Rukmini Ghanakucha Dvandvaika Bhushamani Shreyo Deva Shikhamani Rdishatuno Gopala Chudamani Bhakta Paya Bhujanga Garudamani. Whenever bhaktas, devotees are in some paya, whenever the devotees are in some distress, painful situation, Bhujanga Garudamani, the Supreme Lord mounts on this mountain like golden mountain like Garuda's back, and he descends and he appears like a blue sapphire on the back of this golden mountain like Garuda, and he descends like that. Trailokya Rakshamani. Wherever the devotees may be there, the Lord will come and protect. You have seen that picture where a devotee is just throwing his hands in the air while drowning in this ocean, samsara sagara, and the Lord is coming on the back of Garuda to lift him up. So in Calcutta temple, Albert Road temple, this is carved on the dome, not dome, just above the altar. The Lord is coming to protect, and the devotee is just praying. And here Gajendra is praying to the Lord, and the Lord is descending. Gopi Lochana Chatakam Budamani Saundarya Mudramani. And this father is so beautiful. Saundarya Mudramani. So we may get affection from father, but here is a father who is extremely beautiful also. He's very charming to look at also. Right? And this father never becomes old. This father is always youthful. That's another aspect of this father. So no one can have a father of this caliber. Right? He's eternally our protector, not just for a while. So anyways, Gajendra came down, Lord Vishnu came down, and all the devatas also came down along with Lord Vishnu, offering prayers, praising him, begging forgiveness. And Vishnu descended like this. And Gajendra saw Vishnu descending from top. And Gajendra was so weak by that time, absolutely no strength. But the enlivening presence of Lord Vishnu in the sky on the back of Garuda inspired Gajendra to spontaneously offer some gift to him. I need to offer something to him. Gajendra is anyways in the water. There are some lotuses growing there. Gajendra picked up a lotus and offered it to the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And Vishnu, right in the air only, he released his Sudarshan Chakra, and that has chopped off the head of this crocodile. And the Lord came and lovingly pulled Gajendra by his trunk outside the water. And just with the touch of the Supreme Lord Vishnu's hand, Gajendra was transformed into a four-handed Vishnu Murti. Gajendra got Sarupya Mukti. Within fraction of a second, Dushta Samhar happened, and deliverance, liberation of his dear devotee also has happened. And even crocodile also was relieved from his curse. He became a Gandharva, Huhu.
Who was crocodile in his past life?
Huhu. There's a Gandharva named Huhu. So he went and did some mischief when a Rishi was doing his Sandhya Vandan, taking bath in water. He went in underwater and then pulled his legs. And the Rishi said, "You are behaving like a crocodile. May you become crocodile only. That's better for you." And now the Lord is relieved that crocodile also from the curse. So who else can be more merciful than the Supreme Lord? So in this mood, Uddhava offers this prayer in the first canto, in the third canto of Bhagavatam. He says, he specifically refers to the Putana episode, and he says, Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jighamsaya yadapya sadhvi lebhe gatim dhatrichitam tatonyam kam vadayalum sharanam rajema. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam. This Baki, this Putana, she was the sister of Bakasur and also Aghasur. Such a great family. And just now we are celebrating Jagannath Rath Yatra. Jagannath, so Baldev and beach mein Subhadra. That's one family, divine family. And here is another demoniac family. Two brothers and sisters, all are demons. All are trying to kill Krishna only. Aho bakiyam stana kalakutam jighamsaya paya yadapya sadhvi. This asadhvi, this unchaste demoness, which baby catcher, she came with a malicious intention to kill Krishna by feeding him her poisonous milk. Right? But what did Krishna do to her? Krishna ignored her attitude and Krishna accepted her attire and action. Her activity is like a mother. Her attire is like a mother. She was resembling Rohini Mata when she entered to pick up Krishna. So Krishna ignored her attitude. Actually, Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana, right? His definition is he accepts our bhava. His mood, his bhavagrahi, but he acted against his quality of being bhavagrahi and he only accepted her attire grahi, not attitude grahi, attire grahi and activity grahi. So Krishna is not impressed with our external actions, he is impressed with the internal attitude, consciousness. But Krishna, more than that, he is the supreme loving father, right? So his intention is to Hare Krishna. His intention is to somehow or the other give some mercy. He searches for some reason, direct or indirect reason, to somehow or the other liberate us, show some mercy upon us, isn't it? So Krishna gave her the position of motherliness in the spiritual world. Lebhe gatim dhatrichitam tatonyam kam vadayalum sharanam rajema. Dhatri uchitam. She attained a position which is befitting a mother in the spiritual world. Kam vadayalum sharanam rajema. Who else could be more merciful than Krishna? Who else could be a worthy object of our worship? Who is a worthiest shelter? It is Krishna only, right? So Sukadeva Goswami further says in the 10th canto, Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam loka vanditaihi angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa janani gatim Krishna bhuktasthana kshiraha kimugavo numataraha. Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam. The lotus feet of Krishna are worshipped by so many great yogis and devotees. ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यांतं न विदुर्सुराः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. Dhyanavasthita tadgatena manasa. So in their dhyanavastha, so many devotees meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. And after a long time, they get some glimpse of Krishna's lotus feet. But Putana did not get a glimpse of Krishna's lotus feet. Putana got embrace of Krishna. Krishna was hugging Putana. Putana said, leave me, leave me. If Krishna hugs you, will you say, leave me, Krishna? So you will not say, leave me, right? Yes, Prabhu, what's your name? I forgot. Parikshit. Parikshit. Parikshit, if Krishna comes and hugs you, will you tell him, leave me?
No.
He will say, hug me more. But Putana says, leave me, leave me. But Krishna is not leaving. If you say, Krishna, leave me, he may leave you. But he is not leaving Putana. But Krishna will not leave you, don't worry. He is already hugging you. Okay. So, Angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam. Krishna is giving his bodily, his contact to Putana completely and completely purifying her demoniac existence. Yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa janani gatim. Although she is a Yatudhani, she attained the supreme abode of Krishna. as a maid servant of Mother Yashoda, as a motherly nurse assistant of Mother Yashoda. Yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhapapa janani gatim Krishna bhuktastana kshiraha kimugavo nu mataraha. So if this is the destination that Krishna has given to Putana, what to speak of all the mothers of Vrindavan, motherly gopis of Vrindavan, and what to speak of all the cows that have given their milk to Krishna with so much love and affection. So Krishna is more merciful in Vrindavan. He is merciful in general, but in Vrindavan he is extra merciful. Right? He can give liberation even to Putana. He can give liberation to Aghasura also. Okay. So, if we take another example of the story of Ajamil, you know Ajamil? Ajamil lived a life of sin. So many sinful activities he has performed. He was beating people, he was cheating people, he was looting people, he was robbing people, he was threatening people and collecting money from them. And by all sinful means, he was somehow maintaining his sinful life for a long time. But on his deathbed, when he chanted, Narayana, 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 please come here, he was calling his son. But the son was not Narayana, by the way. The name was Narayana. The name that he uttered was non-different from Lord Narayana. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatva Nama Namino. There is no difference between Nama and Nami. So Narayana, name, and Narayana, person, both are same. And that Narayana is not the boy, Narayana is the Supreme Lord. So, because he chanted 4 syllables, Narayana, Narayana had sent 4 Vishnu Dutas to protect Ajamil. And because he committed sins with body, mind and words, 3 Yamadutas came to take him to hell. Right? So, when you book an Ola cab or Uber cab, the cab comes to take you somewhere, right? When you commit sinful activities, Yamadutas come to take us to hell. Right? So, and they will make us travel such a long distance in short time. Okay? Super fast. We will be traveling some thousands of yojanas in few muhurtas. That's all. Easy journey to lower planets. Right? Not that they have very powerful cars, but they have powerful whips. They will beat us. Not us. They will beat the sinful people. Okay? None of us will go to hell here. Because we are worshipping Krishna. No doubt. Nobody will have to go to hell. So they will beat with whips. To escape the punishment of the whip, you will run faster. Right? That's how we reach the hell. And before even Yamaraj decides the punishment, next 1000 years he will put him in Kumbhi Paka. Fry him in hot oil. Before he even assigns that particular punishment to a particular sinful soul, even on the way to hell also, they receive so much of punishment. But we are on the way to Krishna. Prabhupada has written a book, On the Way to Krishna. That's one of the first books I ever read in my college. Right? So, especially the cover page picture attracted me, On the Way to Krishna. Krishna is very soothing. So, Ajamil was being arrested by these Yamadutas. They were taking him to hell. So, then Ajamil was chanting, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Because he's very anxious, he was calling his dearest person, that is his son, little boy, Narayana. But the Narayana is not coming. What was Narayana doing? Playing there. Okay. He's playing with a garland maybe. He's playing with some toys. He's just somewhere close by. Because this little child is so innocent, so small, he did not have the ability to understand his father's emotions. As I said some time back, some people in this world may have the intention to protect us, but they may not have the ability to protect us. Sometimes people may have ability to protect us, but they may not have the intention to protect us. And some people are not so developed, not so experienced that the intention to protect us will not develop only, therefore there is no ability only. right? This Narayana, this little child, belongs to that category. There is no blame. We can't blame him. He is so small that he has no ability to understand the emotions of his father. Krishna as a child can understand the emotions of his father. When his father is going outside, Krishna will take the sandals of Nanda Maharaj and puts them on his head and takes, my dear mother, my dear father, please take these sandals. To that degree he loves his father. And when the mother is doing some household activities, churning butter or something, Krishna will get some wooden stool. Mother, please sit on this. Little child, 2-3-year-old boy, he will just push. He will push, drag that stool or push that stool with so much of his strength. And his mother, please sit on this. Okay. So he loves his mother, he loves his father. But an ordinary conditioned soul does not have the ability to express that affection towards father or mother, to understand the affection of father and mother. They have to some degree, but not completely. So whether Krishna is acting as supreme father or supreme beloved child, he is perfect. He is completely perfect. Okay, in all his relationships, he is perfect as a father. He is perfect as a son. Okay, he is perfect as a mother also. So Ajamil was calling out, Narayana, 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 please come here. And boy Narayana did not come. Original Narayana responded. He sent his Vishnudutas. And Vishnudutas came and released Ajamil from the bondage of Yamadutas, and you know what all has happened. But just analyze these examples that we have been discussing. What all stories we have discussed? We discussed Gajendra, then Ajamil, Putana. In Gajendra's case, Gajendra did not specifically call Krishna with his name. Krishna, Vishnu, Hari, Madhava, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Govinda, please come and protect me. He did not say that. Gajendra felt that there must be somebody who has the ability to protect me. Let him come and protect me. And how did Gajendra compose all these prayers on the spot? Intentionally we understand, but how could he express all this? It is Krishna who inspired Gajendra. Gajendra has been Indradyumna Maharaj in the past life, right? So in the past life he learned so many prayers. He offered so many prayers. And Krishna reminded one of those prayers to Gajendra. Gajendra, you offer this prayer. He only inspired Gajendra to offer prayer, and he only responded to that prayer and protected him. Match fixing? So much match fixing. This match fixing is a product of his mercy. Isn't it? So just like father gives a problem to the son. Okay, solve this problem, mathematics problem. Father only gives clues. Do this, do this. I told you, do this, do that. And somehow son solves the problem. Father claps, oh, wonderful, amazing. Right? It's the father who taught him. It's the father who's inspiring him, who's helping him, who's instigating him. Okay. So sometimes in our kids' slokas, some kid is trying to say a shloka. So unable to say some shloka. And you just kind of inspire. Oh, that shloka. Madhur Prapanna. Madhur Prapanna. Madhur Pashu. Pasha. They'll continue. Okay, Pasha Vimokshana. You only instigate. You only taught. You only kind of inspire, and then when they're stuck, you just kind of inspire them. Please take this next word. You give them some sit. And then when they recite the shloka, you clap. Wonderful, amazing, 50 out of 50. Take the certificate. Right? Similarly, the Lord only inspired Gajendra to offer this prayer, and he's responding to that prayer. Okay. So in Gajendra's case, Gajendra did not specifically call the Lord, he only described the qualities of the Lord based on some memory that he had from past life. And in Ajamil's case, Ajamil just chanted Narayana, that happens to be his son's name, and the Lord Narayana came. And in Putana's case, she came to feed milk to Krishna, which is actually poisonous milk, and wanted to kill Krishna. But because she fed milk to Krishna like a mother, Krishna saw that attire. In Ajamil's case, the Lord thought my name matched. Although he did not call me, he called somebody who has my name. So I will respond. Here their name matched. In Gajendra's case, the qualities matched. Although he did not call me with a particular name, he described some qualities of a person in his prayer. The qualities are there in me. Let me go. Right? So their qualities matched, here name matched, and here attire matched. this Putana satire is matching my mother, Rohini's attire, so let me give some mercy. He will find some direct or indirect reason to show us mercy. Who else can be more merciful than Krishna? What else is a qualification to become a father, supreme father? Right? So the Lord somehow or the other wants to show mercy. He is the one who creates this world. He is the one who creates some difficulties also in this world so that we realize that this world is not a right place for us to live and we get inspired to get out of this world. And He is the one who arranges all the scriptures for us to give us information about the eternal world so that we leave this material world. And He is the one who arranges all the acharyas for us to explain those scriptures so that we take advantage of them and do bhakti yoga and go to Krishna. And sometimes He personally comes also. He personally comes as an incarnation and inspires us. In these 5 ways He tries to reclaim us. Creation, frustration, scripture, acharya, incarnation. In these 5 ways He tries to reclaim us. Okay. So He's the Supreme Father, right? He's not very happy and peaceful there out in the spiritual world without us. He wants us back. That's why He's coming here. If Devikram becomes a multi-millionaire in future and he opens 10 companies, 100 companies, company of 100 branches, okay? 99 branches are doing exceptionally well. There is one branch which is not doing well. There the employees are fighting with each other. And when you go there, boss is going there, they are trying to beat you. They are showering some poisonous glances on you. Okay? They are not cooperating with each other. Are you inspired to continue that branch, Devikram? Remaining 99 branches are doing exceptionally well. They are not inspired to continue that branch. No, pakka. Sure.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Wouldn't do. If the one branches wasn't working, I would.
You will close it. At age of 7 he decided it. Okay, what will you do, Kirti? Will you continue? Are you inspired to continue that branch also? No, right? Kirti also says no. Okay. But Krishna continues that branch. And that branch is this material world. So in the spiritual world there are so many branches. So many spiritual planets are there where all the living beings there are eternal associates of Krishna. They are lovingly serving Krishna eternally. They are considering Krishna as their life and soul. And they are worshipping Krishna in multiple forms. But here is this material world where people are not cooperating with each other. When Krishna comes, avajananti mamudha, manushim tanumashrita. When Krishna comes here, they think he's an ordinary person. When Krishna lifts Govardhan mountain, Shishupal said, he lifted some mound of earth and he says Govardhan Giridhari. And when Krishna subdues Kaliya snake, then Shishupal says, he just played with some water snake and people are glorifying him for doing Kaliya Daman. Right? So this is the nature of people in this world. Some people say there is no God. Some people say God is light. Some people say God is love. Some people say God is not a person. Some people say God is a feeling. Some people say God is dead. Some people say I am God. Right? So the world is filled with such crazy people. And as Devikram said, Krishna could have closed down this world. I will not visit this branch anymore. This material world, this universe, I will not visit here. I have so many spiritual planets in which people are lovingly serving me. Krishna didn't say, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Krishna didn't say like that. Krishna, of course, you should close down the branch. I'm telling about universes here. Okay. So that's more practical move. I agree with Kirti and Devikram. But Krishna is compassionate, right? He comes into that branch only. He comes repeatedly into this world in different forms. As Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Vamana, Narasimha, Rama, Parashurama, every yuga he comes. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Every yuga he comes here in some form or the other to protect us, to punish the vicious people, and to again inspire us to perform bhakti and come back. You know, the important reason, the main reason for Krishna to come here is said by Kunti Maharani. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karmabhi shravana smaranarhani karishyan iti kechana. You know, You know the shloka? Okay. So Bhavesmin Klishyamananam, the Supreme Lord Krishna comes to this world to do what? To release us from all kleshas. Bhavesmin Klishyamananam, in this world there are so many kleshas. Avidya kama karma bhi. Why there is klesha? Klesha means misery. Because of avidya. Avidya means ignorance. Because of avidya there is kama. Kama means material desire. Because of kama there is karma. Karma is material activity. Because there is karma there is klesha, material reaction. Avidya kama karma bhi leads to klesha. Ignorance leads to material desire. Material desire leads to material action. Material action leads to material reaction. How to terminate this whole cycle? And that material reaction, while experiencing that material reaction, you will be more ignorant, you will do more material actions, and you will incur more sins, more kleshas. So Krishna wants to terminate this whole cycle. He comes here and does what? Sravana smaranarhani karishyan iti kechana. He inaugurates the process of devotional service in which there is Shravana, Smarana, there is hearing about the Lord, there is remembering of the Lord. There are all 9 processes of bhakti. And thus, Krishna establishes the path of bhakti and reclaims all of us. You are my children. You are Mama Eva Amshu. How can I see you struggling like this? I will reclaim you. Right? A boss or a CEO of a company may not be empathetic or sympathetic to an employee who is working for him sometimes, right? Sometimes they may be, but sometimes they are not also. Okay, we have ChatGPT now. We have some other tools now. We don't need so many employees, okay. So there may be different ways in which the masters of the material world may behave. But the Supreme Father of the entire creation, he never disowns a single soul. He may disapprove our misdeeds, but he never disowns us. As a result of our misdeeds, he may sometimes punish us appropriately, just to rectify our rebellious mentality. But he wouldn't disown us, right? In this material world, masters have to do something, whatever is practical. Of course, if somebody is not productive, you may have to remove. There are multiple considerations in that. So we are not finding fault with anyone. But the point is, how merciful Krishna is. On a spiritual plane, the master here, on the spiritual plane, the Supreme Master, Supreme Lord Krishna, he doesn't behave like any other ordinary master. No master in this material world will give similar facilities to his employee. While the boss sits in an AC cabin with a big table, big laptop, big screen, and so many sofas there to attend to people, meetings, AC room. And what does his security guard do? He will sit outside on a small wooden table. Okay. No master shares similar amount of facilities and enjoyment with his subordinates. But if you go to the spiritual world, what does Krishna do? Krishna gives similar amount of enjoyment to his devotees, and in fact he gives more enjoyment to his devotees than he takes for himself. He makes his devotees enjoy more, just like a father wants his son to be more popular. The mother wants his son or daughter to be more qualified than himself. My father did diploma. When I did BTech, my father became so happy. I did only diploma, my education stopped there, I got into job, I had so many family responsibilities, but you did BTech, wow, amazing. Then I went to masters. My father became even more happy. I got a big job, my father became even more happy, and I resigned it. And my father became sad. And now my father is happy, very happy, that I got another job where there is one uniform whole life, one hairstyle whole life. Right? It's a different kind of happiness, spiritual happiness they're getting. But point is, when the father sees that his child is flourishing, doing better than himself, father becomes happy naturally. Similarly, the Supreme Father Krishna also becomes very happy to see his devotees enjoy more than himself. All the Vrajavasis serve Krishna, they derive so much happiness more than Krishna also. And especially the gopis, the best of all Vrajavasis, Radharani, the best of all gopis, when she renders service to Krishna, her happiness is 10 million times more than Krishna's happiness. And Krishna becomes very intrigued. My God, why is she so happy? More happy than me. Happier than me. So I need to experience her happiness. Krishna hankers for the happiness of his devotees. Basically, it means devotees enjoy more than Krishna. But no master in this material world gives more enjoyment to his servants and he accepts less enjoyment. But here is Krishna who gives more enjoyment to his devotees than he enjoys himself. He is the Supreme Father. It's not that he's just a master, he's father also. He's friend also. Suhurdam sarva bhutana. And he can act like a lover also. He can act like a son also. He can act in any capacity, in any relationship, in reciprocation with the particular mood of a devotee. That's why Brahma says, Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja ase srutekshita patho nanunatha pumsam yadyadhiyata urugaya vibhavayanti tattatva puhu pranayase sadanugrahaya. Whoever worships Krishna with 100% pure devotion, bhakti yoga paribhavita hrutsaroja, then Krishna enters into their hearts and reciprocates with them in a particular form that they desire. Krishna's appetite to shower affection on us is so much that he is willing to manifest one particular form to bless one particular devotee. He can manifest a unique form to reciprocate with the love and affection of one particular devotee. Okay. So that is Krishna's appetite to reciprocate with our affection. Okay. I'm sorry, 8:38. I can go on. The topic is like that. It's a very broad topic. There are many more examples that we can discuss. But for all practical purposes, I'll conclude here. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Should we take questions or should we conclude? What is your
We should take questions.
questions? Yes. Any questions or comments? Or clarifications or objections? Yes. Two questions. Whoever. You can decide, Mataji. Someone can ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for a wonderful class, taking us on a journey. It's very wonderful. Thank you. One point that really struck with me was when you said it's an offense to doubt Krishna's capacity and intention to protect us. I think it's the first time I've heard that, so thank you. Yeah. And so there are two questions to that. One is, sometimes even in Krishna Bhakti, when the weight of the world's problems become huge, despite being practicing, sometimes we lose track of that Krishna will be able to protect us. How do we maintain that conviction? That's one question. The second question is, when we see family members who are struggling and who aren't in this path, and we try to share, but they are a little bit hesitant, can we get solace from Gajendra's pastime and say, even if they don't pray to Krishna, they will still be protected?
Two questions. First question requires at least an hour for me to explain. But still, I'll try to explain in a couple of minutes. Can you repeat the first question once again?
So you mentioned that doubting Krishna's ability to protect us is an offense. So why, despite practicing Krishna Bhakti, we don't have that?
So overwhelmed with so many problems, it's little difficult for us to maintain this understanding. Yes, I can agree with that. I can empathize with such situations. But what makes us be rooted in this understanding is regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, regular study of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It's not a small statement. It's a lifetime instruction given to us. Only when we regularly study Bhagavatam, regularly hear Bhagavatam, regularly nourish ourselves with the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can apply this understanding. We hear once, we know it, and we move on with our life. And that file is there somewhere in the memory. Sometimes, how many of you have this experience where you have a very valuable file stored in your laptop, which is of 500 GB or 1 TB, and you're lost, you're searching for that one 10 KB file, very important, in all folders, in all drives. My God, you're not getting it. Right? It's there with you. Our understanding that Krishna is the supreme protector is there with us. We should never doubt the intention and integrity of Krishna. That understanding is there with us. And we know hundreds and thousands of examples where Krishna protected us. That understanding is there with us. But we may not be able to apply that understanding. We may not be able to put that understanding, theoretical understanding, into practical action. The reason is we are not regularly revisiting it. When you kept a file on the desktop and you're constantly revisiting it, you'll understand where it is. Of course, you'll open in 1 second. When you're using an app in your mobile very frequently, WhatsApp or Gmail or whatever, you're using it very frequently. If someone sent a WhatsApp message, please open it. Here's a message. Or you're interacting with the person very frequently. His chat is there right on front. But someone had sent you a message 2 months back or 5 months back. You read it once and you never revisited it, and then you don't even remember. And he says, I messaged you. You messaged me. What's your name? It's there in your WhatsApp chat. Oh, I didn't back up my chat. Maybe it's deleted. You're not regularly revisiting, right? And you're not using one app constantly. And the phone will remind you. There are so many obsolete apps, you should uninstall them. Right? So, let the knowledge, the lessons of Srimad Bhagavatam not remain theoretical. They remain practical. They become practical to the degree we regularly revise them, revisit them, hear them, discuss them, and share with others. Nityam Bhagavata Seva is the key. And now there is more to it. You just asked, how do we maintain this understanding? But there's a lot of depth in the question. How do we understand that misery also, in that misery also, how is it logical that Krishna is my protector? How can I see that misery as mercy of Krishna? Okay, that's a bigger subject matter. Oftentimes, whenever we encounter some distress, an average conditioned soul wants to search the cause of the distress outside oneself. I am not the cause of my suffering. Someone else is the cause of my suffering, right? Outside oneself. But we need to be a little more mature. We are regularly hearing Bhagavatam to identify the cause of our distress as ourselves. And that's the message of Bhagavatam, one of the most prominent messages of Bhagavatam. Tattenu kampam sasamikshemano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Whatever I am experiencing now, whatever suffering I am experiencing now, is a result of my own past misdeeds. Right? I may get some suffering through this person, not from this person. A postman will give you a letter of promotion. Right? So you got promotion. Wow, amazing. Will you say, thank you, my dear postman, for giving me this job, for giving me this promotion. This is a garland for you. Take this stuff. You will not do all that stuff, right? You'll thank him, fine. But you will not worship him. He is not the cause of your promotion. The boss has given you promotion. And you are the one who worked hard for it. You can thank him, that's all. Close the matter. Okay. Similarly, when the postman brings a death news, some close friend died, he brings a death news. You will not call the postman inside and beat him. Why did you kill my brother? Why did you kill my friend? He's just a messenger. Similarly, when we are getting suffering because of some person, identify that person as a postman. We deserve some suffering, he is delivering that quota of suffering to us, and that suffering is coming to us through him, not from him. So there's much more that we need to understand in this regard, so that we don't blame Krishna. Forget remembering that Krishna will never cheat me. This misery is also mercy of Krishna. That's a very higher understanding. Oftentimes many people struggle whenever they get some calamity. How can I worship that Lord who has given me so much suffering? Recently I heard from practicing devotees. Right? Kritajyati. He is the mother of Harshasoka, Chitraketu's wife, first wife. She said, "Oh Lord, we are going against your creative laws. How can a son die during the lifetime of father?" So the calamity is so much, probably beyond the bandwidth of a person to handle. They conveniently blame the Lord. It's very difficult to acknowledge that I am suffering because of my own karma, but it is very convenient to blame Krishna that Krishna is not merciful. That's why I am suffering. Very difficult to acknowledge that I am suffering because of my own past mistakes. People become very emotional. It's a natural. We need to empathize with them, sympathize with them. Nothing. We don't have to blame them. But we need to come out of this blame game. We cannot blame Krishna for our suffering. Although ultimately the suffering is also sanctioned by him. Why does Krishna do so? We'll discuss in a different session, tackling distresses in the Bhagavatam with him. That's there, right, in our schedule, right? And we'll discuss it more elaborately. But I will conclude the answer to this question at this moment. Yes, you had a second question.
Second question is, when family members are reluctant to practice Krishna Bhakti, can we take solace from Gajendra's pastimes that even if they don't pray, they will still be protected?
Okay. Even if they don't pray, they will still be protected if you pray. Right? So they are not praying, but you can pray for them. You can pray to Krishna, Krishna, please give them some faith. Let them come to the path. Let them at least take some interest in spiritual life. You try, but they don't respond sometimes. You pray for them. That's all you can do. A devotee is paradukha dukhi. And especially, it's a bit difficult for someone to convince family members to take to path of bhakti. You may convince so many people, you may make so many people into devotees, you may become a big preacher also, but our own family members are still not becoming devotees. It happens. But not to worry. You can pray for them. And if you are nice to them, if you are kind to them, at least they love you as a good relative. And that love and the affection and the positivity that they maintain for you will go into the bank account of their Agnata Sukriti, and one day they may develop some spiritual inclinations. And simultaneously you are also praying for them, right? So Prahalad was able to preach to all his classmates, but he could not preach to his own father. Right? He failed at his home, but he became a successful preacher. The original IVS preacher, original children Sunday school preacher. Right? And he has so many students. So many demonic children are the students of Prahalad Maharaj, but he could not convert his own father. Okay? It happens.
Thank you.
So in this material world, it's always going to go on, right? There will be always jivas. And Krishna has a desire that all the jivas be with him in the spiritual world. But we know from Vasudev Datta's pastime that he prayed to Lord Chaitanya, give me all the amalgamated sins of everybody and let them be liberated and I will suffer. So it seems like Krishna's desires will never be fulfilled, that all the jivas will be with him or at one time always. So is it like a leela, or is it like what is it's going to go on forever, this material world, and the jivas are going to suffer here in this material existence? So how is that Krishna's desire, being God, his desires are not getting fulfilled?
Very profound question. I'll give a simple answer. The answer is, Krishna is supremely independent. As his minute fragmental parts, amshas, we are minutely independent. And Krishna will never interfere with that minute independence. He will never interfere with our feeling. If he does so, he can hypnotize. Even ordinary hypnotists in this material world, they can influence us, they can hypnotize us, they can make us do what they want us to do. Why can't Krishna do that? If he wants, in one fraction of a second, he can make everyone into pure devotee here. He can make all of us infused with Krishna Prema and dance in ecstasy in Goloka Vrindavan. He can book a flight ticket, boarding pass to everybody. Go to Goloka. Right? Direct boarding pass. No boarding pass. They disappear here, appear there. He can do that. But if he does it, we are machines. We are not living beings. Right? Living being means you should have some free will, some independence, some ability to desire. Although Krishna's desire is to have with us, is to have us with him, he acknowledges our desire. If our desire is to be here, what will Krishna do? So now, I'm thirsty and somebody probably gave me water, okay, and I drank it. He gave me with so much love and affection. If somebody is obliged to give me water, I am thirsty, and somebody says, hey, take it. Every time you ask me water, I can't keep the water next to you. If he's doing all that, he is forced to give, he is obliged to give, he is pressurized to give. And somebody is threatening him, if you don't give him water, I will beat you. Then you are afraid and you are coming and giving me water. Will you be comfortable drinking that water? No, right? If I can't, if I am not comfortable receiving forced service, how can I expect Krishna to receive forced service? So Krishna doesn't want forced service, obliged service, pressurized service. He wants loving service, voluntary service. And we will voluntarily serve him if we use our independence to serve him. Right? So now when a child goes to the garden and plucks some leaves and flowers and makes a nice bouquet and gives it to his mother on her birthday, on his own, mother becomes so happy, isn't it? But if the child is pushed by father, hey, today is a mother's birthday, you do something. I will make bouquet, at least go and give it to her. Right? And then I will not give. And finally the father is pushing, forcing, and then the child will take it and close on the accept it, but not very comfortable. Right? The child voluntarily gives even a leaf also, mother takes this flower, not a bouquet. He becomes happy, right? So basically, Krishna doesn't interfere with our independence. So he respects our independence. So if with our independence, if we want to serve Krishna voluntarily, he'll be happy. Otherwise, he'll wait. He'll wait for us to surrender. Thank you. Again, we'll come to you. Yes, Mataji.
So thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. I have a question about the Gajendra Moksha Leela. So you mentioned that so Gajendra had been King Indradyumna in his previous life, and so Krishna inspired him that to remember the prayers that he had said before. And Srila Prabhupada says that everyone should repeat some mantra so that they will always remember it. However, then the prayer, you also described that the prayer that he said, it just begins, Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai. I pray to that Lord, and then it doesn't say who, and it doesn't actually have his name in it anywhere. So how is it that in his previous life he memorized such a vague prayer?
He remembered some prayer that he has learnt in his past life. But after a while, he also added his own prayer into it. It's not that it's like verbatim repetition. So he remembered some prayers and he repeated them, and after a while, you know what he said? My dear Lord, even if you release me from this jaws of this crocodile, I don't desire to live in this elephant body. That's a personal prayer. That's not a part of his previous prayer. So probably he did not remember the full prayer or all prayers, and some prayers he remembered. By the mercy of the Lord, where only qualities are mentioned, names are not mentioned. Okay. And he added his own reflections as he is. Like when you are offering prayers, you will evolve in your own thoughts. Just like Satyavartamani was offering prayer, right? He Damodara Ashtakam. Initially he said, Idam teva purnatha gopala balam sadami vanasyami rasvaki manye. He's saying that let this Bal Gopal form manifest in my heart always. But later he evolved. Why this Bal Gopal form should manifest in my heart? Let him be manifest in front of my eyes. Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jaladhibandha Kripa Drishti Vishyati Dinam Vatano Grihane Samamagyam Medhaki Drishya Akshidrishyahi, may you be visible to my eyes, not manifest in my heart. In one shloka, the mood changed, the aspiration changed, the demand changed, means the request, the appeal changed. Similarly, Gajendra also is kind of evolving. Something he's recollecting from past life and he's also adding something at the end. Right? This is my little understanding. There may be more to it, you can ask some scholars.
Reach to the right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And the oh
Yeah.
yes. The second, it's a small question. So today is Gundicha Marjan Tithi here, and it's tomorrow in Puri. Do you have anything we should remember or pray on this
We
day?
can remember a lot. Otherwise, we could have had Gundicha Marjan class. No, I forgot. I don't know.
Today was Father's Day. So.
Father's Day.
Supreme Father's Day.
Okay. Anyway,
Thank you.
Gundicha Marjan, this one lesson I can say. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he rejoices the mood of being a devotee. That's why he became Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he also relishes to perform menial service unto the Lord. So as devotees, if we also become eager to render menial services, not only privileged services, okay, not only frontline services, but also menial services like washing pots or doing jhadu pocha, brooming, mopping. So that will attract special attention from the Lord. Okay. Menial service with humility. Sometimes while washing pots also one can become proud. See, I am so menial. I am doing such a menial service. I am so simple. Sometimes people become proud of their humility. Not that way, but in a humble mode, if you do some menial services, which anyone can do, it doesn't require a specialization, right? So that attracts special attention of the Lord. And the next day when Rath Yatra is happening, Pratapruddra Maharaj was brooming and mopping, right? Brooming. So although Pratapruddra Maharaj has done so many big services, like arranging accommodation for all the 200 yatris from Bengal, he did so many things. He arranged a Gambhira for Mahaprabhu to stay. But Mahaprabhu is most impressed with that one brooming service that Pratapruddra Maharaj has done. He recognized all the previous services, no doubt, but this specially attracted the attention of the Lord. He kept aside his position as a king and is acting like a sweeper. He just charmed my heart. So Mahaprabhu became impressed. Okay. So,
Thank you.
Okay.
One question.
Yes.
So you mentioned Krishna is aware, but Gajendra had to write to him. Right? Even most of the scenario, even Draupadi is going through there, but Draupadi has to call out. Krishna is aware, right? So why is that always that Krishna, somebody has to call him out, then he responds?
Yeah, the answer that I have given to this devotee, independence. Krishna doesn't interfere with our little minute independence of freedom. If you don't desire protection from him, he will wait for us to call him. And many times, Krishna, by default, he gives some facilities to us. Right? Now, for example, you go to some hotel, some restaurant. By default, these many things are there in the menu. One chapati, one bowl of halwa, and one cup of yogurt, one gulab jamun. If you want to order something extra, I want 2 more gulab jamuns. Pay more. Right? You have to call the assistant there to give me more. So by default, Krishna stays in the hearts of every living being as super soul. To that degree, he samoham sarva bhutesh. Okay? He gives that much attention to everybody. But if you want extra attention, extra mercy from him, call out with a prayer. You don't have to pay. You have to pray. So hotel fellow will give you 2 more gulab jamuns, you will pay him. But if you just pray, Krishna will come. Okay? So the prayer is expected. At least that much we have to do. Right? So, because Krishna doesn't want to give us some special favor even against our will. If our will is to struggle, if our ego doesn't allow us to pray also, why would Krishna come? Still Krishna makes some effort some way. He tries to inspire us through concerns within. He tries to inspire us through some good advices from outside people. But if you are too bent on doing something wrong, Krishna will say, okay, fine, at your own risk do it. Duryodhana was doing so much nonsense. Krishna personally spoke to him. Vidura spoke to him. And Bhishma spoke to him, but he's not listening. So basically Krishna doesn't interfere with our minute independence. If we utilize that little free will and independence and voluntarily pray to the Lord, Lord will run to come and protect us. Right? By default he stays as super soul. Okay? And he gives some basic facilities. He gives matta, smriti, jnanam, apohanam, all that he will do. But you want some extra? You need to pray. We need to worship. Okay?
Thank you.